and another video from Dave. What's up, YouTube? This is Dave signing off 7. This is another video to do with my UFC 207 review. Man, was Dave wrong. I mean, it is what it is. I can accept when I'm wrong. And another video from Dave. And yeah, like I said, man, was Dave wrong. Hey, you can't guess them all. It is what it is. When I said Holly Holmes was going to knock Ronda Rousey out when they fought, a lot of people called me crazy, but I called that fight. It is what it is. I got this one completely wrong. I can admit it. But man, what a great event. I really enjoyed UFC 207. I didn't get to see it until the Don Hung Kim fight with Safadine. I thought that fight, I thought Safadine won it. I did not see Dong Hung Kim, if I'm saying his name correctly, winning that fight. I'm sorry. I saw Safadine. I thought he threw more elbows and punches. That was me. But maybe he got more control. Kim, I think he had more of the control in the match. Maybe they were judging it by that. That's the one thing with UFC when it comes to decisions. Like, I really thought Cody was going to get screwed when it came to the decision with the whole Cruz and Cody Garbrandt match. But he didn't. I mean, if anybody watched that fight, he won I think he won every round. That's just me. He was just the better fighter. And I think he's a good dude. He really changed my thoughts about him with that fight. I really like him as a fighter. I think he's definitely a great fighter for the bantamweight division. He's going to be a great champion. Him and TJ Dillashaw is going to be an amazing fight because TJ Dillashaw had a fucking phenomenal fight too with his fight with what's his name, Don Lineker. That was a really good fight. Like I said, I didn't get to start watching it till the Dong Hung Kim Safadine fight. That's when I came in on it because I was had to go get my buddy. He wanted to see UFC 207. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Even though all my predictions were wrong, I enjoyed it. Let's first talk about, like I said, the Safadine fight. I thought he won that. I didn't think Dong Hung Kim won that one. I thought he was cheated. That's just my opinion. TJ Dillashaw, no questions asked, won that fight. Great fight. What's his name? What the hell's his name? John Lineker. He was scared to engage. TJ Dillashaw was doing some crazy ass kicks. And man, is he fast. Like when he fakes going up, like just like this strike at him, and then he ducks down and just takes him down. He is a fucking awesome fighter, TJ Dillashaw. That's what I'm saying. If he does fight with Cody Garbrandt, that is going to be a phenomenal fight. I can't wait to see that one. Yeah, but TJ Dillashaw won that hands down, no questions asked. Now let's get into the Dominique Cruz versus Cody Garbrandt match, which, like I said, I think Cody won every fucking round. One thing you gotta understand, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite in this video, but when these fighters suffer from injuries, it changes their game. Yes, Cruz came back after his injuries and did very well, but an injury can slow the fighter down. Prime example, Anderson Silva, reigning champion, has not won a fight since his injury. Has not at all. Even though the whole Michael Bisping and his fight could be questionable, a lot of people thought that he did win in that third round when he did that flying knee and knocked fucking Michael Bisping out. That was the most funniest thing in UFC. When he fucking did that flying knee in the third round and was celebrating the win. I love that shit. One thing about Anderson Silva, win or lose or draw, that motherfucker always gets, gets praised. You know, he's always getting cheers. The man is a fucking warrior. Even when he fought Daniel Cormier, you know, even though Daniel Cormier outweighed him and everything, like I said, I'm one of the ones that say, you know, weight ain't an issue, because back in the day in Pride, you fought, you know, you could fight a 200-pound man with a 500-pound man. It didn't fucking matter. You know, now it's all weight classes and all that. Back in the day, that shit didn't matter. Now they got all these different rules. Fucking Hoist Gracie could choke people out with his fucking gi. It didn't matter what went on. Now there's all these stipulations, no elbows to the back of the head, everything. You know, back then was, in Pride, it was fucking fighting. It was like a real, no rules, no hold bars. You went in there, it was fucking the lion's den. Still kind of is, you know, UFC is a tough sport. There's a lot of rules. But yeah, the Cody Garbrandt match versus Dominick Cruz. Dominick Cruz, like I was saying, you know, his injury, it's affected him. You know, it has. Even though he's done good since he's came back after his injury, it's still affected him. He's not the fighter like he used to be. Still damn good, but he's not the fighter he used to be. Look at, like I said, Anderson Silva. He has not won since his injury with Chris Weidman. It is what it is, you know. One thing you can't take away from both them fighters, they are reigning champions, former reigning champions. That was the best match of the whole pay-per-view. I loved that fight. I liked how Cody was fucking talking trash to him. I just like, it was a fun fight. That fight was I would say on the level of the Conor McGregor Nate Diaz fights, both of them. It was definitely on that level, and it was definitely, just that fight alone was worth money, just worth every penny I spent on that event. Yeah. So no questions asked. Cody Garbrandt, bantamweight champion, awesome champion. I hope he holds the belt for a while. I thought it was really cool what he did with the kid. You know, letting him have the championship. You know, I thought that was really cool. Really good dude. Seems to be. And he has my respect. So does Dominick Cruz. After the fight, he was talking in the post-fight press conference. Took the loss like a man. You know, that's how a fucking a loss of a reigning champion when he loses or her loses should act. Ronda Rousey should take notes from that, and she would be the fighter she used to be, maybe. Now let's get into the Ronda Rousey Amanda Nunes fight. Man, was that embarrassing. Like I said, my buddy came over, and my mom was watching it too, and she didn't even know the fight was over. Like, she's like, it's over? Like, what the fuck? Like, it was like, I don't know if it was as bad as the Holly Holmes match. I think maybe it was because she's, you know, been off a year. She looked like she trained, you know, and she went in there and just got fucking destroyed. You know, it was embarrassing. Like, she didn't get like knocked out or anything, but she wasn't like blocking. She was just taking a beating. Like, what the fuck? And you know, it's funny, if you watch Ronda Rousey's older matches, and I'm not one gonna be like these other people that are just gonna act like Ronda Rousey did nothing in UFC. She built this fucking division. I'm sorry. You know, like I said in my predictions video, Ronda Rousey has destroyed women that destroyed women that destroyed Amanda Nunes. Ronda Rousey ate up in no time at all. You could say what you want. Alexis Davis destroyed Amanda Nunes on the ground, humbling her. And Ronda Rousey fucking flipped her and knocked her unconscious. You know, come on. Kat Zingano, you could say, yeah, she lost her boyfriend. I believe it was her boyfriend blew his brains out or something like that. She was messed up in the fight. I do think Kat Zingano could have done better. The problem, I think, with Rousey is, you know, Ronda Rousey is now a celebrity. She's not on the level of a lot of these fighters. You know, a lot of these fighters don't make much money. You know, they don't bring in as much money as most people think. And she's at a celebrity level now. She's you know, she's been in movies, she's done commercials, she's done a lot of shit. She's looked at as a fucking icon, you know, and she don't have the drive that she had before. You know, there's a difference when you're going into the UFC, you know, and trying to make a name for yourself. and fighting for that belt and taking what's yours. You know what I'm saying? She's already took what's hers. You know what I'm saying? So, and two, like I've said in many videos, and you can go look of anything my UFC, you know, I said this before, that coach that she's got is not good for her. He's not. And he's hurting Travis Brown really bad. Travis Brown used to be a really good fighter until he came along, that boxing coach. I was so happy the day Verdun just kicked that son of a bitch. I wish he would have kicked him in his head, but but he is like a curse. Like, they need to get rid of him. I don't think Ronda's out. I really don't. I think she could come back. It's 2 losses. I mean, the woman that took Ronda out, Holly Holm, she lost twice, and she's fighting. You know, but the difference from Holly Holmes to Ronda Rousey has a lot more money, and she is a fucking celebrity. You know, I'm not saying Holly Holmes isn't a celebrity, but not on the level of Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, like I said, don't have that drive no more, and the drive's not there. It looked like it was there at the weigh-ins. I mean, you know, it's like when Mike Tyson, you know, first lost to Holyfield. You had a guy that was just a reigning champion, knocking people out, just like Ronda Rousey was. You can't deny what the girl did. I don't care if people say that was a fluke. How is fucking how is what was it, 10 or 11 straight victories in a row? That's just a fluke. What she did in strike force in the Olympics, that's just a fluke. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. You just don't have the drive no more. You know, I like to see you accomplish what she did, and then talk to me. And just say if that was a fluke. Come on, people. Nobody has her ground game. Nobody in the UFC today has her ground game. I just don't think she has what she had before. She don't have the drive. You know, if you see her other fights, she went into it with girls punching and shit. She's won by fucking knocking girls out. You know, where they've stopped the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can throw down a little bit when she wants to, but you're not going to go on the level of a striker of Amanda Nunes and do that. She just had to be smarter about it. And I don't think she has the drive. She don't give a fuck. She did this, you know, probably trying to just I think if she would have, now looking at this, if she would have won this fight, she would have retired anyway. She don't give a shit about this no more. Like I said earlier, I don't know now with what happened. Now, it's 2 bad losses. I think she would have to get her livelihood back, she'd have to step back in the ring and prove everybody wrong. They'll let her do it. She brings the money. You know, she's a McGregor payday. There was fucking people. They said half that stadium was fucking crying. That was one of the biggest selling stadiums. 20,000 in that stadium. 20,000 people. And they said most of them were fucking crying when she lost. You know, and you can't tell me if she went, took some time, you know, I hate to say this, took some time, got her head straight, got a new coach, and went back to war. She could do that. Could she win? I don't know. You know, they're bringing more higher level fighters into the UFC, but like I said, the people that she's destroyed have destroyed Amanda Nunes. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard. I just think, in my opinion, I think, and this ain't me damage controlling for Ronda Rousey, but I think Ronda Rousey's head just isn't in this game no more, and I don't know if it ever will be. You know, but now she just stepping into that ring again, she's taken away from other stuff. She could have had I don't know if it'd be the same now. I think maybe she could do it, but if she went to wrestling, she could use her signature armbar as like a finisher. You know what I'm saying? Like the Razor's Edge, like Razor Ramon does, or Shawn Michaels with the sharpshooter. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has that she'd be perfect for wrestling, just like Conor McGregor would. And the funny thing is, like, all you Conor fans, don't think this shit can't happen to Conor. You know, I will say Conor came back after his loss with Nate Diaz. That's where I respect him. And I do think Conor's good, but put Conor up against the higher level people in the light division. Let's see what he does to a Khabib. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what he would do to a Woodley. You know, don't say, oh, that's a weight difference, blah, blah, blah. Well, he didn't have that problem going against Nate Diaz in a weight difference. Do it with Woodley. Let's see how great he is then. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, back in the day, weight was not an issue. You got in the ring, if you were 200 pounds, you got in the ring with a 500-pound man. There's videos of big ass fucking guys getting thrown through the fucking cage by little guys. Come on, people. But yeah, it was a great event. I think part of me, I'm a Tyson fan. And I thought in my mind, I liked what Ronda Rousey brought to the table. I liked that undefeated streak. I liked that in Anderson Silva. I thought that was cool. I liked that in Aldo. Those are great fucking former champions. I'm sorry. And I still look at Ronda as a great champion. I just think the stardom of being a celebrity got to her head and it fucked her up. And that coach is no good for her. I'm telling you, that coach is garbage. The one thing I don't like about Ronda, and it would be hard to talk to people after a beating like that and what has happened. I understand that, but at the same time, she has to take her losses like Dominique Cruz did. He's a reigning champion, and has been champion for a very long time, 10 years. You know, and he can get up there and take his loss like a man. Not saying he got pummeled like Ronda Rousey, but you gotta think that would be pretty hard after these two fucking losses she's gone through. Very bad losses, man, very bad. But you know what? Dave's wrong. Like I said, I just want to say again, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I'm not that type of person to sit here and fucking damage control now. I'm wrong. I predicted this fight wrong, and it is what it is. But I had a blast watching it. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Did you like it? What did you think? Do you think Ronda's done? Me, I think she could come back if she wants to. But I don't know. We might not see Ronda ever again. I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't blame her. It's something. If I was her, I'd come back and revenge my losses. And gain my legacy back, because she could be, if she comes back from this and fights Amanda and fights home, she still has that fight too to do. If she comes back and wins them, or at least goes in there and puts on some kind of, that's the worst part of this whole thing. She went in there and looked both times like she was a fighter that never fought in the UFC before, and it was her first fight. That's the bad part of the whole thing. If she went in there and gave a fucking fight like Misha Tate did with her, before, or other people, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you look like you fought at least, and you had some heart put into the fight, there's a difference. These are straight fucking beatings. That's the hard part to really see, like, what, that's the part that's like mind-boggling. Like, what is it? Is it the coach? Is it, like I said, it could be the coach, it could be her becoming this big star. I think the UFC is building some of these people up too high than they actually are. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I'm contradicting myself a little bit, but I think the UFC, like I've said with McGregor, they're putting these people on pedestals, and when it's time to go to war with the bigger people, could you see, I just want to know this, could you see Conor McGregor going with Dominique Cruz? Could you see him going with Cody Garbrandt? I'm just saying, like, could you see him really going with somebody like, let's just say if this ever happened, John Jones? Like, come on. I'm just saying. TJ Dillashaw, could he take the thing with it? You could say, oh, well, he beat Aldo, but Aldo was heated and engaged real fast because Conor got in his head. But if he wouldn't have been like that, would have the fight went that way? Could have Conor fought somebody like Pettis in his prime? Pettis is another example of a person that got injured and hasn't been the same since. He was a phenomenal fighter before injury, like I said with Anderson Silva. But guys, that's my UFC 207 review. I loved it. It was a great event. I thought it was a great way to shut down the year for the UFC. I'm a huge UFC fan. You guys know that. I love UFC. I'm not by any way disappointed. I am disappointed with the Ronda Rousey thing, but I am happy for Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes is a great champion, and she deserves. I liked all her interviews. She's like smiling. I do think it's wrong that she got no promotion really for this fight, because Ronda Rousey, didn't want to do no promotion because, she just didn't want to talk to nobody. That's the part I don't like about Ronda. She didn't want to talk to nobody because she didn't want to hear about her knockout with Holly Holm. I don't like that, but I was really happy for Amanda. I'm really happy for Cody. I thought Dominique Cruz took his loss really good. I was happy for TJ Dillashaw. He's phenomenal fucking kicks. Like, that man is so fucking, you know, energetic, athletic. I mean, that motherfucker's bad. Like, he is bad. But Cruz beat him. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Him and Cody's going to be a good match. And I'd like to see the rematch with Dominic Cruz and Cody. I'd like to see that too. I'd like to see both of them, him fight both of them guys. It's going to be awesome next year for UFC. I'm looking forward to it. Guys, tell me what you think in the comment section. This video is going long enough. Later, YouTube.